Hey Water Peeps, I'm Melanie Florence and this is Hot Tea for the Soul, the water edition, the weekly water edition. So this is for people who've got a lot of water in their charts or people who might be looking at their emotional connections, their heart connections, because that's what our water and our cups are about. So I'm going to do us a Greenwood reading which will go through your conscious, subconscious, our challenges, what we need to work on, heal with, and then I'm going to do the individual star signs at the end. So I will timestamp them in the comments, right? I am also going to draw us a few cards from a few different decks. Let's set the scene. Let's see what the energy is for this week. All right. So my energy has been all over the shop. 2 days up, 1 day down. Bawled my eyes out for 3 days. Here it is. Karmic release. All right. Ancestors. It's time to connect. It's been time to connect for a while. Anybody who, has an ancestor really should be looking at their past, looking at the humble traditions that actually brought their ancestors to here. What's in your DNA? So for me, the Aboriginal is in the DNA. So I do use a Dreamtime reading deck, and I'm using a Wildflower deck because it connects to my heritage, to my ancestors. What is your DNA? What is your path? Connecting with these. What are the generations? What are the generational learned things? I found out as I started this that my great-grandmother on my mother's side was a tea leaf reader and a tarot card reader, not tarot card, playing deck. So I'm not the only one in the family. There's other people who have had talents, and I also understand what the connections to the generations are. That my bush, my Aboriginal, my connection to the earth is solid from that, and that's why I break things up into element, because that's my connections. What are you connected to? What are your ancestors bringing to the table? Are you respecting your ancestors? Look at your traditions and where we've got. So we're perhaps looking at that connection. There's a lot of debate still about making sure that we look after these ancient bloodlines. So there is this connection that we all need to understand, that there's a reckoning and that we need to connect with our past so that we can heal it, so we can heal generations, right? Because it has a generational effect. Our healing words can heal. All right. So the next card I'm going to draw from the archetypes, the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. I looked at their tarot deck the other day. Oh, it's nice. All right. This came out before. All right, Agape. So this is about letting the light shine. This is about your inspirations. This is about your community. This is about your connections, how things are coming in to inspire you, your path and your guiding lights and your stars and your wishes and all of these people holding a candle and holding things alight for you and you holding them alight for you, opening up to the possibilities of your inspiration. And where that inspiration is coming from. Again, this could be generational. Where is this inspiration coming from? What are these connections connected to? But we've got all of your hearts, all of your candles, all of your inspiration and your fire here are showing, and the connection to those things are showing. Okay, so I'm also going to give us a card from this is the Spellcaster's Oracle. It's really an accessible deck. It really has some nice Wiccan, pagan sort of boundaries and blessings, and a lot of circles in this deck. What have we got for the Water Peeps this week? What have we got for the Water people? Water Sprites, the Mermaids. What have we got? One card. Shuffle, shuffle. Friendship. Friendship. Again, this is a community. When we start using our inspiration and our connection, this is a connection card, and it's being inspired with your community and your passions. But this is really connecting to your friends. You might find that it's because you have common links. You have common links over time that give you common interests. That's usually what friends are about. They're supportive, and it's time to really look at your community, at your village. All right, so this is about a village. This is about connecting. Perhaps as a woman, it may be, if you're a woman, this is about supporting yourself. But this is about really connecting with your friends and embracing your friendship. And those lights in your life that are in your life. Okay. So we're now on to the Dreamtime reading cards. All right. Give me one from the Dreamtime reading. Oh, where is it? The Gumnut Blossom, Contentment. Right. This card is about living in the moment. Orange, incidentally, is about releasing nervous tension. So this can, obviously, the gumnut can come in a lot of different colours. It comes in a lot of different blossoms. But here, where they're showing us, there's a lot of orange in this card. So we're releasing nervous. And this is about, you know, this is about letting go of the past and living in the moment. This is a very living in the moment, the card, this gumnut card. It's talking about really coming to the spot and going, I am blessed, and living in your bliss and learning to be sometimes content with what you have. Content is happy, and if we can learn to be a bit content, this is what it's talking about. You know, don't put the burden on the future. Don't put the burden on the past. Really work out that you've come to a good place and how to share in this bliss and share your contentment in the world. And it's a real, like, sturdy position inside of this gumnut. I read that the other day. So let's see what the, so this is a sturdy position. It's a sturdy position, and it's learning about being content with what you've got, like, and be grateful in our abundance and seeing that abundance inside of your life and being and seeing that contentment. It's like really beautiful things. It says, you know, your life has got this spot where it does have some beautiful things. Have a look at them and feel that humble contentment. It's a happiness. Okay, so what have we got from the wildflowers? Oh, the flannel flower. I love the flannel flower. If anybody's seen it or not seen it, it is a little bit crepey. It sort of actually feels papery. Like it's a papery sort of flower. Where is it? Where's the book? Let's see what it says about the flannel flower. I haven't read the flannel flower. Let's have a look. Got to keep all of my head in the frame. Might be good for everybody. So I'm just stuck in the edge. That's where I'm at. Okay, flannel flower, flannel flower, flannel flower. Let's see, golden. There it is. Calm. Be content and be calm, water people. The message is to slow down, breathe. Now could be a time to make a peace offering, and perhaps the opportunity of a fresh start is about to appear. With issues surrounding fear of being touched or intimacy, particularly men, can find great benefit from the soft, gentle flannel flower. All right. Oh, wait a minute. It's covered in woolly hair. I've given you the wrong flower. That's a little daisy, like that powdery flower. This is actually saying it comes up to 2 meters tall, and it flowers all year round, and it's in a showy during the early spring months, right? In the Sydney Basin, the flannel flower. Okay, sorry for that misleading on there. It's actually a nice soft flower. It's woolly. Okay, let's do that again. The message is to slow down, breathe. Now could be a time to make a peace offering, and perhaps the opportunity of a fresh start is about to appear. Those with issues surrounding the fear of being touched or intimacy, particularly men, can benefit greatly from the soft, gentle flannel flower. The challenge of the flannel flower is weakness. If there are difficulties at the moment, you must learn to stand stronger. Slow right down and listen. You have the opportunity to resolve issues now if you focus a little more on the feelings of others. Flannel flowers healing energies open the way to improve trust between people. Past hurts and now new bonds are formed with a greater ease. All right, so if you've had some tough situations and you're finding it a bit hard to be stroked, this flower is soft. So we go the other way. It's this flannel flower is nice and soft. And so it's about showing you're soft. It's about showing your weaknesses. It's about remaining calm, right? And then maybe you can get across some bridges, and it's like, just slow down. Take it one step at a time. You don't have to fear it one step at a time. Just keep everything nice and calm. It's a nice soft influence to go with. Let's look at the contentment that we've got in our life. Okay. All right, flannel flower. That's interesting. I like that. Put this back in here, in all my books. So, reading. Let's do the reading. Greenwood reading. All right, half my head in. I've got to get this. I had a hair there. Okay. Greenwood reading. So, this is 8 cards. Should have counted them last time. Said that last time. I'm sure it's 8 cards. Been reading it for 25 years. So, you know, it's just almost format for me. So, let's see. It starts with your present state. So, it's where you're at, where it's at. And then it moves on to your spiritual mediator, the next energy that surrounds us and what we can utilize and what we can work with. Because tarot is about working about the energies around you and indicating what energies you got in your life to use. So, let's look on the table and see what we got. All right. Present state, what do we got? Present state, what do we got? Oh, I can't break away. Right, break away energy. This is lightning energy. All right, things are changing. When we have this, when we break away, we are left with our tree trunk, we are left with our hole, but it breaks away things that are no longer good for us, stuff that we perhaps should have let go of already. If you haven't, it's going to do it. It's breakaway change. It's time to make a leap from where it was. You have your foundations. They will always be strong, but this is lightning energy. It cuts off the dead limb. It cuts off the excess. It cuts out old things that are no longer serving you. It's time to make a change, and this will change. Fast, steady action. All right? Might rock your foundation, but you'll be left with your foundation, is the blasted oak. It's a bit Thor. It's lightning energy. Comes in swift. All right, what's the next energy that surrounds you? What's the mediator? What's your spiritual mediator? Next energy to meditate on. That one. All right, this is about reunion. This is a reunion with your child, your inner heart, your inner child heart. This is a reunion with friends and family. This is reunion with lovers, with the attraction. This is a card of attraction inside of your life. This is a waterfall of happiness that we're in front of. And so this is the Otter family. So this is maybe past lovers. This could be reunion with siblings and family. This is a really good energy card that you move past things. So, you know, realizing this contentment, maybe softening up so you can be touched just a little bit. But there's this lightning energy for this change, for a better emotion, this attraction inside of this, and this reconnection with a childlike heart. Ooh. All right, keep that in your heart. That's your spiritual mediator. That's what you're going to work with in here. All right, this is a generational thing. We're moving through things. Friendship, this is love. So friendship is sitting in here. Your inner circle, your intimate circle, reunion of your heart with things that mean something to your heart. Wonderful. Whew. All right, so the next card is the conscious will. It's what you consciously think about what's going on. All right, conscious will, water people, water people. Conscious will, what have we got consciously going on? Conscious will. All right, so I try to get these out for the weekend. So I do them on Thursday or Friday. I try to get them out for the weekend so we know what's coming up in the weekend. We're not working for Monday, we're working for Saturday. If you didn't even have, there. All right, so, conscious will. What do we consciously think about the situation? Okay. It's frustration. So 5 is of the senses. Arrows is off the mind. So air is off the mind. And so we're really talking about being a bit frustrated, and there's a lot of communication and a lot of arrows are falling short. So you might feel that your communication isn't getting through very well, and that there might be mixed communications, but there's a lot of ideas and they sort of need to be aired. And for me, this sometimes is brainstorming. Sometimes there's a lot of communications that people need to go through to get to the end point of the matter. You know, you might have 50 ideas to get to that one idea that actually is the idea that needs to be implemented. So sometimes it's of the senses that we need to throw all these ideas in the air. But in your conscious will, your conscious situation, there's a bit of a frustration on communications, on actual, like talking and the intellectual, and maybe your mind, and keeping things under control. This is frustration of the mind. Okay, the next card is a driving force. It's the source of your power. Ooh, so this might be just sifting through your ideas, sifting through what the fallout is of this, sifting through how you work with that on your conscious level. You're working through ideas. Okay, source of power, driving force. Okay. And I'm going to take those two. So I'm going to put that one over there. Unconscious empathy. Source of your power, driving force, is strength. And look at this. This is beautiful. Strength is not about conquering other people. Strength is about our communication. This is the two, the king of communication and the knight of communication are in this card. You see there's a cup, so it's also about our emotions, and our heart, so it's also about our fire. You've got the wand here, and that may be an arrow. So again, our communication here. This has got the sun in the background, so it's our fire and our passion, and it's phased. It's like the strength of our heart, the strength of our spirit, the strength of our communication, the strength of our position and grounding. You know, and our totem and and holding that and really communicating those and our strength from our fiber of our being. So that's actually the source of your power, is actually the strength of who you are, the strength of what you feel, that the strength of your heart, the strength of your spirit. That's the source of your power. It's maybe bringing that strength in together. It's how do you condense that strength and You know, and again, this has got the sun in the background, so we really have this nice, strong, warm, fertile energy coming that you've got in your life, and inspired, strong happiness, contentment. All right, so it's moment to be calm in this. Ideas and spiritual ideas are coming. Friends are coming together. What's the unconscious empathy? So we consciously think we're a bit frustrated. What are you unconsciously thinking? All right, so this is a big step on from what the conscious is going through. So we've gone through all these ideas. We've gone through all of this stuff. But it's really to work out what we're dedicated to. Like, this is, again, an arrow. So we're talking about the mind, right? And so we're talking about honing in all of those ideas. So we're at the end of the cycle where we, you know, we might be studying or we might be writing letters, but we're really bringing in the ideas and we're trying to communicate those and communicate a new self. But this is dedication of the mind, keeping your mind in check and keeping your ideas in check. Like, but it's like dedicated effort. You get all this inspiration in. It's like, how do you hone those in to use those and be dedicated to your thoughts, be dedicated to your mind, and be dedicated in your communication and how you're communicating yourself inside of your strength, inside of you. So it's like, I am dedicated. Like, even if I'm frustrated, I'm dedicated to this change and my strength and my inner child and my reunions. Ooh, water people. The next card is our challenge. It's what do we need to work on? What do we need to work on? What's our challenge inside of this? How do we move forward in our steps? All right. This is healing. So this is a healing card. This is balance. So this is about feeding your good snake, feeding the bad snake. How do you balance out your kundalini, your energy? You know, we're two horses, and it's keeping those two horses under control, that they run together inside of this. It's very Sagittarian energy, this card. Like, it really is about being inspired and using your inspiration, but it's a patience in healing yourself, healing your spirit, healing your passion, healing your being. And so this is a real time to find this balance. It's like, and this really shows. It's like, I'm frustrated on the outside. I'm dedicated on the inside. I know I'm strong. I'm blasting away from things. There is a thing where I need to find the contentment. I need to stay calm and become soft and vulnerable inside of here. All right, and open up to my friendships, like this is, and my community, like, and so your challenge, the thing that you need to work on and work with, it's really just healing yourself. This is temperance. This is drinking in the waters of healing. So people will come with you with inspired healing. They'll come to you with these things, and it's drinking in, like the waters of temperance. She puts her toe in the water, and that water is healing. You can drink from that. Her fungi was really funky, right? But literally, this is like, you know, healing yourself, drinking from those waters of inspiration and healing energy, and taking that moment to find balance and inner peace, and find, like, remove your frustrations of your mind. This is discombobulation opposed to dedication, and trying to balance that out to find that inner balance of your strength inside of this circumstance. Contentment, calm, baby steps, one step at a time towards things. All right, one step at a time. Heal your generations. Heal your ancestors. You're supported. You've got friends and family. You've got friends and family. All right, so, and then we're supported. So this is what we need to work on. What do we work with? What's our healing element? So we've got our challenge. What's our healing element? Water people. Water people in the house. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Aussie. Oh, yeah, look at that. All right, mate. All right, so this card is a breath of fresh air. It's time to communicate. Talk to yourself. Talk. It's time to talk. It's time to breathe that fresh air. It's time to put a new line of communication inside of this. It's been frustrating. You're blasting away from something. Something has changed, you know. It's time to put yourself out there. It's communicate yourself. Communicate your new you. Breathe in that energy. Drink from the water of healing. Drink from the inspiration. Breathe in this breath of life. And the breath of life is about communicating your happiness, communicating your contentment, like really, like being able to express yourself and express this balance and express this healing journey and what you've got going on, letting it out, not holding it in. Better out than in. Always. Like farts. It's an air thing, see? Better out than in. Okay, so we've come to a good place. What have we got from this big dramatic change that we've got going on in your present state and moving energy? This is moving energy, water people. The next card we have is the outcome. What's the general outcome before we go into the individual star signs? Okay. All right, what's the general outcome before we go into the individual star signs? Oh, strength. All right, look at that. Here, look at that. There. They're the same bird, you know. This guy communicates himself, and it's strong, and it's stable, and it's a stable communication of his emotions, communication of where he's at in the world, about his strength. This has a very Gemini energy to it, this King of Stones, believe it or not. But it's this earthy, pragmatic, practical way. This is enduring. This king isn't like not boastful. This king is quite firm and quite confident in his material world, because he's a horse. And so this guy is expressing his material world. He's expressing himself as a king, and so this is either you or somebody that you know. So you may be embracing this. You might be going, I am business, I am strength, I am the stability, I am content. This guy is content in the very physical world, right? So this is where this has been leading to break away, to find your stability. So it's really talking. Don't block up, don't hold in. This frustration that you've been having, just keep going through it. It's a healing thing. It's a healing that you've been working through. All right, but this is talk it. You're the man. This king isn't impulsive. This king isn't driven by his emotions or by his mind and being cocky. This guy is really like, I'm really going to sit down and pragmatically work through to achieve my goals, is what he is, and that's what this strength is leading to. So you have a stability that jumps from this. It's like, this is really sort of unstable. What it's saying is we cut off all of the stuff that was unstable. We kept the tree, and this is the strength of the tree sitting there. And I've got these ideas, and I can communicate my dedication things, even though things have been a bit frustrating. I'm trying to find my contentment, and I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to soften the fuck up. This is what that flannel flower says, actually. You need to soften up just a little bit. I think we've been telling everybody to harden up, and this is harden up. This is communicating. You got to let the flow through communication. Okay, this is great. Thank you for still being here. If you're still here, that's fantastic. Hit like and subscribe. It does stuff for you. It does stuff for me. It'd be great. You know, YouTube. So the next card is going to be for individual star signs. So where do I start? I start with Cancer. Let's start with Cancer. Let's see what we've got for our little crabs out there. Hope you're not in hermit mode and you're getting out. Communicate yourself. Blast away from where you are. Connect with your friends and family. We're in a good space. What have we got for Cancer? Judgment. Okay. Judgment. So you might be going through a spot where other people are in control, or you're waiting for judgment for something. This could be to do with courts and those sort of things, contracts, those sort of things. And, you know, you've got some really big, strong, stable energies here. And we've got the rainbow in the background of this, and it's like the blessings and the promises that are here. And then we've got sacred symbols inside of here, and where we're going to. What this card is really talking about is you might be going through, you might be judging yourself, you might be being judged by others. It's really important not to make other people's judgments or your judgments of yourself as big as a polar bear, because that is not the aim of where you're going. This is really telling of really keeping your eye on this path, you know, looking for your signs, really keeping your eye on where you're going. You're going to go through this into another spot. So there's these strong, stable energies around you, but don't make the judgment or fear of the judgment bigger than the bear. But this says that there is something in the rolling in it on a judgment cycle. You feel that, or you are judging, or something is being judged. Surprise. All right. Whew. Insecurity. Okay. So insecurity, I find it's sort of this and this sort of feel a bit related, and sort of, you know, this and this feel a bit related. You know, this is talking about ideas and things making anxiety in your mind. When we talk about the air, we're talking about anxiety and tension and panic and stress sometimes. This is talking about insecurities. And so it feels like people are watching. It feels like you've got skeletons in your closet. You might be feeling like you're being harrowed and that you're not of your own and you're on the back of some of these things. Interestingly, when you have a look, these aren't penetrating. She's only got a couple that even hit their mark. All right, because these are her fears. These are the things that she's having to run through. And this is a healing card. 7 is about healing. And so when we talk about healing, we're really going, this card is talking about writing those lists, writing your list of your insecurities down, because what you know what they are, you can voice them, you can work with them. All right, so you might feel like you've got a lot of stuff running around, we've got a lot of frustration, and there's a bit of judgment, which things are feel like a bear. They feel like it. Don't concentrate on it. Don't concentrate on the bear, concentrate on the goal. You know, because this is listing through these insecurities. It's really airing though. This is airing, and talking about those is part of your healing process. And talking about those is part of this strength of where this is leading on a platform. So going through these insecurities, listing through your frustrations, working out what you are dedicated to so that you can dedicate yourself to the goal and not be afraid of what might be outside of the path, and you can get dedicated to your goal. Going through these insecurities is part of this healing element of the mind, you know. All right, so you've got to work on being contentment and staying calm. Okay? All right. Because it has been a big shift. It's a big shift. You're strong. Your source of your power is your strength. All right, so you're sort of strong in all of this. It's going through all these insecurities and working through it, Cancer. One more. What have I got? One more. You. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so this is sort of... these are the only 3 cards in this deck that actually have this symbol in it. All right, so we have that breath of fresh air again. We've got this communicate. We've got this breath of life right in the middle of this. This is her heart. This is the green woman. This is her expressing herself. So if this was masculine expressing herself, this is feminine expressing herself, and this is kind and loving and gentle and confident and sensual and really involved communication inside of this. So communicating from her heart about her path, just like this guy is to create his stability. This green woman is a counterbalance for that. She is that sort of empress, the queen of all she surveys. It's a Virgo energy. So this has really got a rebirth inside of it, and this real fertile power, like fire energy comes with the dragon. And again, we see these trees. We see these trees of judgment. So what we've got around you is a really loving, fertile energy that is expressive. So this is maybe, and I'm going to be real, this expression in the middle of here, this healing element, may be that real balance between your masculine and feminine, and really communicating from both sides of that. You know, this breath of fresh air, when we look at that third time, that third symbol sitting there, we see it 3 times. We got it there, we got it here, we got it here, here we are. Oh, I picked it up upside down. All right, so there we have it 3 times. So we've got a lot of communication for you here, but this is communication from the heart. This is strong, stable communication. So this is actually going to help with this. What you feel this judgment and these insecurities are, and this healing element, you've got this really strong balance of communicating yourself on a very masculine level and communicating yourself on a very feminine level just here. This may be a healer that's in your heart. It's in your heart. This might be a healer that's in your heart. This might be you. But because we work both ways. And so this is a very healing card to go through with these insecurities, to heal, to go through. And it's a very safe place to actually to speak. Cancer, you're encouraged to speak. You have got all 3 breaths of life, ace of arrows, new beginnings in the arrows in the communication. So it's time to speak. And speak from your heart. This is beautiful. You've got a beautiful... like balance in that. I know the insecurities, I can see the mind and the struggle of the mind in here with everything, but there's actually a level of communication and physical and healthy communication. Find your vulnerability, let yourself be stretched like the soft spots and be vulnerable. All right, Cancer, that's really great. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I'd really love it if you hit like and subscribe, and I will catch you next week or in one of my other readings. I'll catch you later. Thank you, Cancer. All right. So next, I got, what have I got? I have got Scorpio. Scorpio, 3 cards for you. Ooh. Respect. All right, respect is a man with a very big stick. Respect is a man that has gone through a lot of challenges. Those 8 challenges behind him are the things that he's learnt to respect. They're the things that he is willing to stand for and stand in front of and defend those morals, defend those things. So this is a communication, this is a level of respect. So when we hit the 9, we're hitting the end of the communication cycle, and we're hitting the end of the cycle. So this is sitting that, you know, you really are putting in, and the people that, where you draw that boundary with that stick is where you let people in and letting people get close to you, and when you're going to, where you're saying you're going to stay out, and it's all right to bite those boundaries. We know that it's about respecting yourself and other people respecting you, and that is what the 9 of Wands is about on a very spiritual, moral level, because it's about our spirit and our passion and what we respect, and commanding respect for ourselves and for others with our respect. All right, big. All right, Scorpio. Good communication in here. There's good communication if we get dedicated to it. All right, what is Scorpio? Another 2 cards. What do we got? What do we got, Scorpio? Oh, struggle. Maybe you're struggling for this respect. This is an 8, so when we're talking 8, we're saying heaven and earth, and so we have to be careful what we bring to our mind, we put into reality. But there's a spot where struggling perhaps of how to express ourselves, how to communicate ourselves, and how we communicate our faith and what we respect and what we've learned. You know, and so this is a real sort of self-fulfilling. You'll be very careful about not taking it from your mind and bringing that struggle into reality sort of thing, because that's what heaven, that 8 is talking about. So this struggle is really going through the challenge of working through what you're dedicated to, what your mind is dedicated to, because that's where that 9 goes on to. But it's also respecting your journey and respecting your path, and also perhaps respecting others. But this is sort of, maybe there's a struggle in here, and it's on a communication level. It's an intellectual level that this communication or this struggle is happening. It's in the mind. There's a lot of in the mind here, but it's about continuing to find this balance. Your healing balance is about your communication, and we got it here in the King again, communicating again. You got a lot of air in this water. There's a lot of bubbles going on in the water this week. Alright, searching for contentment, looking for those, you know, your friendships, finding your calm, making yourself a little bit more vulnerable so people can approach you. So, you know, this is, and so you've been making yourself strong, and we blasted away, but there's still like connections we're looking for, and frustration. So this struggle is related to that, and finding the respectful position inside of that. Maybe one more card for Scorpio. Okay, so we have the Heron. So this is the Queen of Cups. So if you're a water element, if you're water Scorpio, if this is you, this is you. This is, as a woman, this is honing in on that. It may be that as a man that you're embodying those, you need to embody those more loving, feminine, loving, romantic aspects, and loving, healing words and those sort of things. So this is maybe you're struggling to respect and find the balance. But maybe this is how to find this and go through this struggle is really evoking this, because it's about getting into this. Is this water element. We've got again a different balance in balance in our masculine, feminine. Just here we've got the King of Water and this Queen of Cups. This is our balance on our physical level, but still being able to communicate ourselves in a rich, prosperous way. And this woman she's able to communicate herself in this beautiful, like, loving way, healing way, that comes with that gives good, loving outcomes. So this is that, maybe that struggle to work into how to communicate with yourself or to respect. But maybe this woman will help you with this balance inside of that Scorpio. But there's a lot of communication on the table this week, and it's really about finding an inner balance and trying to balance things out and communicating, you know, from your strength, through the strength of your heart. All right, I love this, Scorpio. Thank you for being here. It'd be great. Hit like and subscribe if you like and subscribe. That'd be excellent. And if you're around, I'm going to do other readings this week, but this one will be out again next week for the Water Peeps. Thank you very much, Scorpio. I'll catch you later. Last but not least, I'm going to draw for Pisces. Ooh, I'm not going to draw. They just jump out nowadays. All right, Pisces. Oh, spiritual backburning. This is the wands. This is fire. This is our passion. This is our faith. This is, I don't believe this anymore. I burn it up on a piece of paper and I let it go, right? All right, that's what this is about. This is spiritual backburning. This is taking those limbs that have been chopped off and putting them in the fire and going, I don't need them anymore. Spiritually letting go of them, spiritually healing from them. This is a 7, it's a healing card, right? So we're definitely looking at what we believe, what we don't believe, you know, old rigid beliefs of ourselves we're letting go inside of this card, because this is, you know, how do we get that respect? How do we gain that dedication? We let go of old things that don't serve us, Pisces. So this is jumping that log and burning everything, burning this limb from the blasted oak, burning the leaves that have been left on the ground in your spiritual garden and picking them up and just going, I'm releasing some of this fodder so that because I'm clearing up my spiritual mess, clearing up my spiritual mind, my place inside of here. Spiritual backburning of the undergrowth, so you can have regrowth. All right, the next card, Pisces. Two more for Pisces. 2 more for Pisces. Take that one. Okay. This is about the scales being tipped, and there's been an injustice, and so perhaps you need to work out how to clear some of the mental fodder from this, because you do need to express yourself in a new way and communicate your new position that you have moved, and what this connection of your strength and your dedication of your mind is. Because in the forefront of everything inside of this, we're talking about frustration, and it's talking about keeping calm and working on your contentment and seeing the community around you. All right, but there's an imbalancement of the scales, and you feel like that's unfair, and we really need to work on how do we air that and how do you express that, because this is about expressing that to the world so that you can find your healing balance and create some more stability for yourself. So with this injustice, we're really like adding some fire to that. We're going to add some life to it to actually talk about it a little bit more and let it out so that you can find your healing balance inside of you. So you can work those 2 cards together. All right, because communicating is your healing element. That's what you got to work with. Communicating your expression. Okay, communicating this injustice. Talk about it. Okay, one more for Pisces. What do we got for Pisces this week? Okay, tradition. Okay. I love this card. It sounds like it's just, you know, tradition. It's like, oh, your traditions. No, it's what made you. It's your foundations. You know who you are. You know the stones that you've planted over time. You know what you studied. You know what your means are. You have these rituals of yourself. You know, you have taken itself every moon to plant a new foundation stone over your life. And so that circle is where you get to sit. You get to sit in your strength inside of that. The things that you have created, the traditions of you. It doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. You get to burn all of that off because you actually do know how to sit with what you have created. It's like, this is a spot where it's like, oh, I know what I made. I made myself strength. I made myself into somebody who can say, I can stand on where I am. No matter what you've got to say, no matter what this injustice is, I have got the strength of me and my foundations in my life, and what I have created as my traditions. So I would say with your full moon, if you do traditions, burn your incense, sage your house, do the things you need to do that keep up your traditions in life. So what people would listen, like Pisces, this one's gone long today. I really hope that you've enjoyed that. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will of course be back next week with the Water Weekly Hot Tea. Thank you very much for being here, and I will catch you later.